Yeah, hey everybody, this is Marty Mangello at the United States Presidential Service Center, coming to you from having served 6 presidents now, and Dr. David Evans is doing a fantastic job with the PIC TV network. Be sure to check out all the offerings on PIC TV. Go crazy, hit up about 10, 20, 30, 40 channels. The more support, the more watching, the more it grows, the better it does. And it is doing good, isn't it? It's a great thing that we all need more of in this world. Thank you so much. And don't forget, think PIC TV.
Yes, you can achieve a college education right here in your own community. Harcum College's ACE program at the Deliverance Evangelistic Church offers associate degree programs that can help you land a good job and improve your quality of life.
I like Harcum and Debbie because I can continue my education.
The teachers are great. The atmosphere is great.
It's all possible through iLead and Harcum.
Call now or check out our Facebook page at Harcum College at Deliverance Evangelistic Church.
Hello, everybody. This is David Evans from PIC TV Network, and we are so happy for all of you watching our shows and programs around the world. It is Hello America time. That's right. Hello America is here, and we are so happy today to beam it in from Washington, D.C. all the way to Chicago. My co-host is here with me today, who's taking the driver's seat once again. Brother O, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How you doing, Dr. Evans?
How's Chicago over there, man? How's Chicago weather, man?
It was real nice, man, for this time of the year, and then all of a sudden, like sometime today, it just got kind of chilly, man. So, it's right now it's chilly, but it was pretty good considering that we had that storm, and we were able to bounce. We had that storm, like what was it, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. But anyway, but anyway, we bounced back from that, had some pretty nice weather for this time of the year, and then it got kind of chilly today. So I don't know what it's going to look like for the rest of the week.
Oh, man. Yeah, but we just take one day at a time. It's time for Hello America, America's favorite show from Washington, D.C. all the way to Chicago. Let's get right into it, man. You got a special guest on tonight that you're going to introduce the world to and interview him. So let's bring him in and let's get down to business.
Yes. So today I have a special guest with me, and he'll tell you about himself. But his name is Ken LaRue, and he will tell you about Truth HD and all the work that he's been doing. So, brother Ken, how you doing today?
I'm good, brother Orion. It's a pleasure to be on the air with you, man. And your co-host, man, I thank you all for helping me get my mic and the camera and everything set up and everything like that. And more than that, Brother Ryan, I thank you for helping me out with True High Definition. We've actually gained a lot more followers and subscribers since you've been with us too. So I appreciate you for that too, man.
Oh, definitely, man. It's my honor and my pleasure, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But let's just talk about you right now. Give us, your background. Tell us, a little bit about your upbringing and some of the things that you've done up to this point.
Well, man, so many things. I only got like 12%, so I definitely can't go into all of it. But I'll just say, with as far as Truth High Definition is concerned, It's definitely a blessing. It's a piece of jewelry, I feel like, from God. I do not take it lightly. I feel like it is a privilege and an honor to actually carry the torch, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And I do so very proudly, and I feel aggressively, and no matter what, circumstances may come, clients come, people go, but we're moving forward, and that's the determination that Harold Davis had in it, and that's the determination that I'm going to keep in it. Just to give you a little background about me and Brother Harold Davis, I was an engineer at WBGX 1570 on the AM dial for almost roughly 10 years, since I was 19 until I was about almost 28 years old. I was Harold Davis's engineer there. And before then, I was an artist. I was a singer and a songwriter, and I was promoting I still think it's one of my greatest songs to this day, even though ain't nobody playing on the radio. It's called Rescue You. And so I felt like it was the crossover song between gospel and R&B. And so I was going to the R&B station and the gospel stations. And honorary, one of the greatest engineers and disc jockeys in Chicago, Tom Joyner actually was just at his birthday party about 2 months ago. Dr. PJ Willis. PJ Willis is the one who trained me. He asked me what I was doing. I told him I was a telephone engineer. Besides singing and writing, I was a telephone engineer downtown at a place called NORC. And he said, man, you want to learn radio? I'm like, yeah. He said, well, it's going, you know what I'm saying? I'll give you some here and there, but it'll be almost, you have to do it because you want to do it, because there wasn't no money involved. The white man didn't offer me the internship. PJ Willis had just saw something in me and offered it to me, and I obliged. And I must have did pretty damn good that summer, because in the fall, when it was time for me to go back to NORC, I did go back. And Tim Gallagher, the white man, the owner of the radio station, he gave me a call, and he said, Brother Ken, come on down to the station. I came on down, man. He said, how would you feel about working at the radio station? I'm like, man, it'd be a blessing. He said, hey, now I'm calling you because all of my clients, they like, where's the young dude who did our commercials? Where's Ken that who produced our show? I want him to produce my show. I want him to do my commercial. He said, I tried to tell you it was only a summer intern. He said, they still want you. So he said, what would you think about, working part-time? At first it was like, almost like, yeah, he's not going to be here long. I'm pretty sure Tim had thought. And it became,
Yeah, we're so happy again. Our special guest is coming back, Brother amazing, man. To hear him talk about his radio experience, man, that's amazing to have him to talk about what he's doing there. And tell me how you came in contact with Brother Ken.
So what happened is through an associate of mine, actually a good colleague of mine I had known in the prison. We met. We were having a fundraiser. Actually, we were having a fundraiser for an organization that a colleague of mine, Michael Cannon, created, called Creating a New Destiny Through Opportunities and Restoration. And while we were coming together, putting together the crew for the fundraiser, Robert Red Ross, who is also a host, I actually host a show with Robert Red Ross called The Big Payback on Truth HD. I met him there.
Sorry about that.
And I remember him talking about he had a radio, show. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, cool, And then one day I had asked him about it. I went down there with him, and then we've just been flowing ever since. It's been some months now. And that's how I met Ken LaRue, through Robert Red Ross, who I had met at Creating a New Destiny Through Opportunities and Restoration, our group that we had or committee that we had put together for that fundraiser.
Wow, that's amazing, man. Let me see if we can bring Ken back up. We can bring him back in. Ken, your audio's better. Your audio's cool, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, man. I'm not sure what happened, but yeah, Brother Orion and I did meet through Brother Red Ross, and I call him Uncle Red.
Right.
I've known him for a long time, and he knew my grandparents and uncles and everything like that. But if I could just further elaborate about how this all came about as far as true high definition, me and the white man, I just say the white man, well, everybody knows his name, Tim Gallagher. Me and Tim, the owner of WBGX, we had got into it really got kind of bad because he was always crying broke, and then resources in the station was lacking because he didn't have any money. So I was trying to tell him or teach him, what I already grew up on, which is social media, and how it was about to explode, and how we can incorporate that with radio, and this would be such a great thing. And you know what I'm saying? If we give the clients a social media presence, then you can go up on your prices, and we can stream, and all of these great things. And so he cussed me out. Ken, this is my station. You're not gonna come here and run things. God damn it. And we got the cussing match. But long story short, I came on out the office, and Harold Davis was sitting in the production studio, and he was like, I heard you and Tim and now arguing. I said, yeah, man, he just never listens. And he said, can you really do all that you said you can do? I said, Harold, I can build it. I mean, there's nothing to it. It's just to do it. He said, I'm going to buy a building, and I want you to build it. He bought the building. Myself, older gentleman, he's about 5-10 years older than me, named Will Colquitt, and Robert Taylor. Robert Taylor, I trained in radio, and he older than me, and I trained him, but great engineer. But we all came together and built True High Definition, and we moved probably like 3 or 4 times since then, and every time after that, I built it by myself. So, yeah, and I remember, our very first station on 87 State Street, it was raining outside, and Harold Davis had said, I got out the car, and I'm like, Harold, what you doing here? Outside in the rain, man, get on in there.
Yeah, man. But are we going to go to a commercial break, and we'll come right back, and we want Ken to keep part 2 of his conversation study.
Okay.
A lot of people still excited about the big names he's naming, man, in the industry. We'll be right back after this.
This is big. I want everyone to download the Pick TV network on your Roku search bar. My brother David Evans is growing Pick TV fans, and I want us to help my brother blow up Pick TV. Boom!
Hey! 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 It's Kid from Kid and Play. Hey everybody, This is your man, the KID. And this is big. I want everyone to download the PIC TV, P-I-C, PIC TV network on your Roku search bar. Okay? My brother David Evans is growing PIC TV fans, and I want us to help my brother reach millions of followers. Millions. Click and play www.thepictvnetwork.com. That's www.thepictvnetwork.com. Come on now. Expand your mind. Expand your life. Huh? PIC TV Network. KID. Come on. Let your mind have a house party. Let go. Think about it. Think about it. You better think about it. Check the PicTVNetwork.com. Enjoy yourself. I'll see you at the top.
Hey everybody, yes, we'll see you at the top. We're here at the PIC TV Network. Hello America special presentation. We beaming it in all the way from Washington, D.C. to Chicago. Brother O is the man that the whole world's talking about. He has a special guest on, Brother Ken. He was big in the music industry, and know some top names in that industry. Hey, Brother O, when you're talking to Ken, man, I didn't know he was that big. Man, he named some heavy hitters on knowing them.
Yeah, and so I'll tell you, and when he comes back, a little story about him singing too.
Oh wow!
Yeah. It was phenomenal, man. Still, you know, as he was talking about that, it just made me think about the event that we had and how he it was electrifying, man, and he shocked a lot of people with what he did.
Yeah, I know he was having a little technical audio difficulty on his cell phone or the interview, but we're going to get him back up. Man, it's amazing. Oh, when you have these guests on, man, I don't know how you do it, man. You got the rabbit out the hat, man. You got so many things that you bring on, man. These quality people who big in the industry, man. We just had the brother on the other day and the sister on the other day, man. I want to commend you for just helping us to kick off 2023 in a big way. I think Kenneth, he's going to come back up in a little bit. But just tell me a little bit more about Ken, man, and that the people he know is big.
Yeah. And I definitely would want him to tell you more about Truth HD and what the station stands for, since he's been there for such a long time, much longer than I have. I've just become a recent contributor, but I can attest to some of the people that work there, especially Robert Red Ross, my co-host on the Big Payback.
Wow.
And just their dedication. And I think Mr. Ross has been in the industry for a while, dealing with radio for a long time as well. But there's the dedication to the cause, to the mission, and trying to get the truth out, trying to awaken people awareness out here and get people to thinking, not trying to tell them what to think, but just really trying to stimulate their minds so that they can begin to go and search for themselves what the truth is. And I can appreciate a platform such as Truth HD because I'm a truth seeker, and I always leave my mind open so that it can expand.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you are a truth seeker, you never get to a place where you are satisfied or where it's the end, because that truth truth is endless, and truth comes in various forms. And so you're willing to be receptive to it in whatever way that it comes to you. And that just takes a lot of humility to do that. Humility and definitely dedication. Because even when a person, no matter who he is, once you begin acquiring knowledge, people have a tendency to be to become big-headed, egotistical.
Yeah.
Even if you're not wealthy, just the fact that, and I've seen this over the years, and each person, everyone has to check himself. It's just like with any other thing that you might accumulate, whether it's money, whether you become very famous or material things. The same thing is with knowledge. Once a person acquires a lot of knowledge, then what the ego will begin to try to take over. And so you have to really check that and stay open-minded if you want to receive more.
Yeah, man, that's big, man. I heard my godson say that ego means edge and God out. Like, wow, man, that was like, I never forgot that. And to hear that when you said that, it reminded me that's why, the older I get, the more humble I become. And I realize that big things become smaller and small things become big, just to be able to move around, to go to the bathroom, and to be able to, still be able to see and have a good doctor's report, and to be able to walk on your own, eat on your own, things that we take for granted. I'm a 60-year-old man. I've been around the block a couple of times now, and I realized that, this house behind me, which is the White House, and above me is the Capitol, where I live in Washington, D.C. But I realize it's small things that count the most, So, I'm happy, man. We got some guests coming in. Thank you. Happy New Year to you. Popping in, giving us some love. Thank you. Thank you all the way from brothers coming in from Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. This is Twitch coming, our Twitch audience. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, but for the people listening on Clubhouse, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, the Wisdom app, man. Watching the Pick TV network. If you listen to the audio part of this broadcast, we welcome you. If you have comments, Brother O is still gonna say something for you. Hey, Brother O, we also praying, man, for the brother who was in the football game on Sunday. Our hearts and prayers go out to him and his family. Amazing brother who, was on the field this week. And while he was on the field, everybody know what happened. He was just doing his job, playing the game. And the next thing you know, he's in a situation now where he's fighting for his life. So we want to keep praying for him, Brother O.
Yeah. I actually was listening to a broadcast earlier, and there was a doctor explaining what probably happened to him. And it could happen to anyone, in some type of weird freak accident or whatever. I myself, with what we know about certain sports, I have mixed feelings about that. Obviously, a lot of people have been able to make a lot of money using it as their livelihood.
Yeah.
But situations like this and other situations where people have been, hurt, or it's had a negative impact on their health long term, knowing what we know now, is it worth it? But At the same time, there's a demand for it. A lot of people like to watch it. There's a lot of money behind it. So will it stop? Probably not. Unless we had too many of these incidents occurring, and then it might still not stop. I think about the gladiators and how back in the Roman time when they had the gladiators, and it was a brutal sport, but yet there was demand for it, right? And since there's a demand for it, the people whose lives might be severely impaired or even lost are going to be outweighed by the monetary gain that people will get and the allure from the fame and the wealth that one could attain. So that's where we are with that.
Yeah, brother. Oh, I was thinking about it, man. My brother played football. He was like an all-star in DC back in the 70s and played semi-pro. A lot of stuff happens on that field, man. But I did something from our network to dedicate this brother's just a short film, less than 2 minutes, to Damar.
This short film is dedicated to Lamar Hamlin, who is a man of faith, and the whole world is praying for him to receive a miracle, and we believe God is going to do it.
And I just grabbed his hand a little bit harder just because, you never know when, like, the last day could be that you getting to experience something like this, So I'm cherishing it every moment. It feels so surreal. Like, I can't even describe it, but I cherish it every second that I can, every second of every day. We just had our prayer, our DB prayer we do every Wednesday. Outside, he was next to me, and I just grabbed his hand a little bit harder just because, you never know when, like, the last day could be that you getting. I'm cherishing it every moment I can.
I want to give him some love, from DC to Chicago on the Hello America show. We put that together last night. But our prayers go out to him and his mom, man, to see his mom, to ride with him. His heart stopped beating on that field, and by the grace of God, he's doing better, and pray to God will bring him through this. And I believe he's a believer. He was just talking about prayer. But you never know, bro. Oh, when you get on that field, man, whether you're going to come out alive, man. But we never seen nothing like this before, and the players and the coaches. And I'm glad they canceled the game, man.
Oh, yeah. No, it's not more important than a human's life. And we have seen some tragic accidents prior to that. We've seen some people become paralyzed from playing football. So the dangers are there. Then even with CTE, where they're looking at the brains and the effect that it has on a person's brains. I could name a few Chicago Bears, those guys that won the Super Bowl that had problems. Jim McMahon talked about having problems, which he believed was a result of him playing football. And the contact that came from that. Dave Duerson was one. And as a matter of fact, Jim McMahon talked about Dave Duerson and what he was going through. And he ended up taking his life.
Wow.
Because, what he was going through. And they all believe that, or many people believe that it came from the brutal contact that he had endured while he was playing football. And then there are, other people that are examples, some boxers, some people still have talk about, Muhammad Ali's condition could have possibly been from taking too many blows in that ring. So when we have those contact sports like that, that's the reality of that right now. But the money is always going to be the thing that's going to keep it going, right? And that's why I use the reference to or the comparison to the gladiators back in the Roman times in the Roman arenas.
Yeah.
Because, some would fight even to the death.
Yeah.
So that would just go to show you that in that bloody sport, that the value of a human life was meager compared to the other things that were involved.
Yeah.
At that time. And so even though these players are making a lot of money, it's still not really worth their lives or even their health.
Yeah.
We have learned that the new wealth is health.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so it's a shame that a tragedy had to occur. Will it be the last one? It can't. Obviously, it won't. We know that it's not going to be the last one. Hopefully, it'll be the last one to that degree, to that extent. But people are going to keep getting hurt because our bodies are strong and resilient, and yet at the same time, they are fragile.
Yeah.
And so even something that might just be something simple. Mm-hmm. I'll give you an example. Here in Chicago, or in the Chicago area, so a few years back, there were some guys in a bar, and what happened was, they were joking around, and one of the guys told their friend, they said, I bet you won't let a girl hit you, a woman hit you. So they went and they found, a woman that was in the bar, and then they approached her and they told her about the bet or whatever, the wager that they had. Mm-hmm. So the woman, like, okay, cool. You want me to hit him in the face? Everybody's fine with that. She punched him one time and he died.
Wow.
It was just a joke, hey, guys getting drunk, talking stuff. Hey, I bet you won't let a girl hit you, blah, blah, blah. And it was over, little, you know how guys are. Mm-hmm. She hit the man, he died one time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah, man, it's definitely something that we have to, pray, man, for players when they go out there, and especially some players, they may not be in the best of health and still play anyway. I was listening to Deion Sanders one time. His leg was hurting, man. Something got popped or something. He went and asked the person in medical, give me a shot, man, shoot me up. Shot him up and went right back out there. So many players playing hurt, man. They just go for the love of the game. They go out there and give it their all, man. And but like you said, your body only can take but so much, man. And we praying for Lamar and his family, man. I can't imagine what his family is going through. But God is good, man. Every day that we hear a little report that things are getting better with him. That's the main thing, man. That's the main thing. You're watching Hello America. We're here from Washington, D.C. to Chicago. Brother O is on. He's also over the Prison Freedom Channel. And he brings on people from all over Chicago. Benny has been on here. We had Jerusalem Gangster on here. We had one brother who had 100 years, sentenced down to 90 years, did 45 years. Brother O, can you just tell our audience about one of the greatest interviews we ever had, man, was the brother had the 90 years served 44 years, could not read. He came through that process, now out at 75 years old, has 4 degrees, and how he is helping people learn math. Can you just give us a report, man?
Yeah. So Maulana Modibo Iusi, as you already said, basically, he had a lot of time in prison, went in, served 44 years. He was supposed to do 90, and he had a turning point in his life when he was awakened. Yeah, he had another chance to really change his life so that he could possibly get out, and he was rewarded with having his liberty again, because it wasn't guaranteed that he was going to get out. And then with the mindset that he had, it was more likely that he would not get out. But he was involved in an incident with him and a staff member, and at the time he could have been charged with another crime, but they didn't do that. And once he was not charged with that crime, he realized that he had been given an opportunity, and that he needed to change his life. He needed to change the way that he was thinking and focus on bettering himself as a human being and thinking about the possibility of attaining his liberty again. And so he has, and he's been out, and he's been doing some positive things. He's like, as you said, he's teaching math at the GED and high school level. And he's a role model for people out here. And not because he has a lot of money or anything like that, because he doesn't, but his resilience and his determination to do good and to stay on the right path. And there are a lot of people who could give up, especially with that much time, looking at that much time ahead of them, and knowing that once he finally did get out, that he would be, probably a senior citizen, but he still decided that he wanted to go on, walk that path. And so you see it even now with his humility. Just for me, when I am around him, the humility that he has and how grateful he is to be where he is at this point in life. And it's a lesson to be learned. And I know a few guys like that, actually. I know a few guys that had, they had life. They weren't getting out, but they kept a positive attitude, and now they've gotten out, and they've had people help them along the way. I remember, here's a story about a guy, and he's very busy. So I haven't really had a chance to reach out to him because I'm busy, and then trying to catch him is very difficult. But there's a man, and I'm not going to say his name because unless I get his permission, but I will tell a story about him. I remember when I was incarcerated, and one of my teachers, one of my professors at the college in the prison, asked me, did I know the guy? Now, at the time, I didn't know him. But so she told me a story about that at this time, he's out now, and he's doing a whole lot of things. But and I had a chance to meet him since I've forgotten now. But I didn't know him while I was in there. But when I was in there, my professor, she was telling me, she was talking about how even though at the time he was not supposed to get out of prison, the attitude that he had really put a lot of people to shame, because there were people who were out here who how could I say, complained about. They complained about their problems, their issues that they had. And here was a man that was never getting out at the time, who would show up every day with a positive attitude and would smile and greet people and so forth. And I remember that story about him and how she talked about the impact that he had on her and other people that saw him all the time in the prison with a positive attitude, not complaining, not having a gripe against people and being bitter. And so I finally got the pleasure to meet him last year. And I didn't even, like I said, I had never met him before. And I was actually at an event. And they had there were these organizations there. They had these different tables set up. And I walked over to one of the tables, and I forgot how it began, but it was talking about parole and things like that. And then he gave me his card. And I looked at the card and I saw his name, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I remember hearing your name and people talking about you. But there are a few people out here like that were in there, and they, regardless of what their present situation was while they were in there, they did not allow that to define who they were and determine the attitude and the mindset that they were going to have. Even if they were not getting out anytime soon, or at the time it looked like they weren't getting out at all, they decided that they still were going to be decent human beings.
That's amazing, Brother O. And for everybody watching right now, this is a turning point in our conversation where we talked about praying for Damar Hamlin and his situation. And we also wanted to give a lot of love out to some of the people who've been on our TV show, especially for those who've been on the Prison Freedom Channel, which Brother O is over, and also in Hello America. It's a blessing to have a network and a television show where we can air and not be censored, not be cut out, not to be edited out, and we can have the freedom to speak about situations and about our current problems and situations in our world today. And I'm so happy to beam this from Washington, D.C. all the way to Chicago. And those who are watching right now, listening right now, if you want to help us to do what we're doing, you can either call us on 202-505-2837. That's if you want to be on the Prison Freedom Channel or the Prison Freedom Show or Hello America with us on PIC TV Network. Or those who are watching right now, if you scan the QR code, we're going to have you to be a part of what we're doing. You can be a part of our chatting audience. You can be a part of our virtual audience. You can be a part of coming on PIC TV Network. And our network is your network. Right above Brother O is that QR code. You can scan that. Or for those who are listening from social media platforms, Brother O, they can be a part of our contribution and helping us with our donations too. At watchpictv.com. Watchpictv.com. It'll show you all the ways that you can make a donation to give towards helping us on the PIC TV network. And I thank you in advance for those who are supporting us and what we're doing. But I want to talk about, the problems that we see on Skid Row there. I've shown you some pictures there, brother. Oh, this is Washington, D.C. This is Skid Row, California, brother. Oh, there's so many people who are homeless. And brother, they're on the street right now while we be in our comfort places of home. We still have a big problem, but and how can we help by giving somebody an opportunity to get some food? And you understand, brother, because you used to work at a homeless place, brother. and talk about the needs and how everyday people can give a coat or blanket or bring something down there to the shelter, shoes or something like that, Brother O, to help some of the brothers and sisters in need. Again, we're showing you live footage from Washington, D.C., with people outside sleeping in the cold or outside in the rain and under a little tent, under a little bridge, and people on Skid Row, you know, their whole life is spent outside or pushing around in the car. Brother O, can you just talk about, you know, some of the things that we can do to help out?
Yeah, definitely. I know that whatever it is that you have, like if it's food donations, clothing that you have that's excessive, or you know, maybe a little old, but right, you know, if you're homeless, then you know, you're not really concerned, or your number one concern isn't whether you having, you know, these Gucci or all this other type of stuff, Jordans and things like that. The main thing is you trying to find something to eat, sustain you, and then to have adequate clothing for the weather, right? Those are the two things. And then hopefully you're trying to find some form of shelter and looking for employment if you can. You know, if you could obtain that. But for the time being, you want, you know, to try to have sustenance, food, and adequate clothing.
Wow.
So if you can provide any of that, or even if you can, and I know the times are hard and everybody's situation is different, but even if you can possibly provide some money. I know, like with myself, I see a lot of people that are homeless. When I'm coming from work, I see a lot of people out on the streets. Also, I was just checking out the Wisdom app because I'm on the Wisdom app as well, talking, and I saw something flash up there. But anyway, also there are people who are out there and they're trying to, I can't really even say make a living, but they are trying to earn, you know, some money. And so I see people out there. Some people, they sell things, books. I know some people that sell books. People selling CDs and stuff like that. And so I try to even help out when I can. If I see a guy standing out there, and even he might not even be homeless, but he's not in the best situation. And so he's trying to, you know, better his situation. So because I respect that, I'll even go in my pocket sometimes when I can, and I'll contribute to that person's cause. But and sometimes when I'm going down to the train station, there will be people around asking for something to eat. I'll go in sometimes and I'll buy them something to eat every now and then, you know. So you can't save the world, obviously, but every now and then it's good to do your part and not look for a reward for it. That's another thing as well. You know, you do your part, and sometimes, hey, let's say you do give someone $1 or a few dollars. What they do with it, you can't really control. Now, if some people, like at times I do it, if I'm right there, go and buy them a meal. So at least you do know, okay, yeah, it was food, right? I mean, he could sell the food if I'm just saying, because some people think like that. They're like, oh, well, I'm not gonna give them any money because they might go buy drugs with it or whatever. But he might try to sell the food if he was really that desperate. I'm just saying, right?
Yeah, but and I'm saying, but we got another show coming up after this, and we have to close out this one. My heart is just giving, man. I used to take my kids down there, Stephen and Amos, and let them feed the homeless and show them at 10 years old how it is. Everybody don't have the privilege to live one like you live and have what you have. And now my sons still do it. My son Steven out there in California, Christmas, giving away gifts under the bridges and stuff, and giving away stuff and helping folks. But I can't imagine Brother O pushing everything around in the cart, man, having nothing, people on Skid Row, and it's growing. I don't know how it is in Chicago, because I'm not there, but this is a live picture from Washington D.C. Look at all those people and debris and carts and stuff, and it's cold out there, and all of them are sleeping under, a little tent, a little quilt. It's a real situation. I don't know how bad it is in Chicago, though, Brother O.
Well, I mean, like I said, I see it all the time. I see people downtown. I see people on my way to work on the west side of Chicago, and looking like that, underneath the viaduct and things like that, with tents and things like that. So yeah, I see it. It's a bad situation right now, and what I know is that a lot of funding here has been taken away from the homeless, and it's been allocated elsewhere. And so some of the help that they were getting, they're not getting anymore. I watched some things before I left from where I was working when I was working with the homeless. I watched some of the services that were being provided to them be taken away. So who knows where that's going to go, how long that will be. But I also know some people that work with the homeless still, some coalitions. I've been with them on when they were going out and organizing and trying to get some things done for their cause. And I see the struggles that they have to deal with, and it's definitely a how can I say? I'm looking for the word right now. It's definitely a problem that we have, a critical issue that we have here in Illinois, but even across the country. When you think about how much wealth is here in our nation, and yet we have these many people who are homeless.
Yeah, it's serious. Oh, especially here in DC, man. It's a lot of people who are, sleeping under the bridges, man. My niece is out there, man. She's been out there for a minute, and a lot of people have loved ones out there making it day by day, doing the best they can with what they have, and we have to consider them. Okay, folks, we're going to wrap up this show today. This is wonderful. Hello America, PIC TV Network special presentation. It's 2023. Brother O is beaming it in from Chicago. I'm beaming it in from Washington, D.C. Want to thank everybody for watching the broadcast today, and especially our special guests from Brazil, France, Colombia, Mexico, Panama, Paris, Peru, Argentina, Egypt, Canada, Ireland, West Africa, United Kingdom, Australia. Thank you, Teresa. We know you're there. Germany. Thank you, Freddie. Thank you, in the United States. Everybody watching the PIC TV network through Roku. We are on all these devices with interpreters. God bless you until we be back. And don't forget, we'll be back on the next show right after this. So don't touch that dial. We're coming back on with another presentation right after this. Thank you, everybody. Hello, my friend. My name is David Evans. Thank you for your time. I was so happy today to make this short movie presentation just to inspire and motivate people. And I thought about this title, When Trees Cry, because everybody can relate to seeing a tree and having the trees around. But could you ever think about the tree itself? We human beings, we're not human things. But the trees, they are nature's greatest gift. One of God's greatest gifts to the world is trees that produces oxygen, trees that produces shade. Trees have a special significance in the earth. It's beautiful. And when these trees that we see go through a transformation, it's major. So I entitled this message, When Trees Cry. Welcome to this special segment, When Trees Cry. Hey, if you want to see more of When Trees Cry, my special short film, and it's not long at all, folks. You can check this out on Pick TV Network mini movies. You can see the full 5 minutes of it. I want to say thank you again for everybody watching our shows and programs. And we also praying for the NFL player, Damar Hamlin. We're praying for his family. We're praying that God will bless him to come through. And we know that he is a man on a mission. And I believe God is going to give him the strength to make it through and have a powerful testimony for the world. And I made a short film, just 1 minute and 16 seconds. This is for Damar.
This short film is dedicated to Lamar Hamlin, who is a man of faith, and the whole world is praying for him to receive a miracle, and we believe God is going to do it.
And I just grabbed his hand a little bit harder just because, you never know when like the last day could be that you getting to experience something like this, so I'm cherishing it every moment. It feels so surreal, like I can't even describe it, but I cherish it every second that I can, every second of every day. We just had our prayer, our DB prayer we do every Wednesday. Outside, he was next to me, and I just grabbed his hand a little bit harder just because, you never know when like the last day could be that you getting. I'm cherishing it every moment I can.